At the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the differences between acids and bases. An acid is a substance that when placed in water is going to release hydrogen ions into the water. On the other hand, a base is a substance that when placed in water is going to release hydroxide ions. So that OH minus is hydroxide and the H plus is hydrogen. Acids and bases have many different properties. Acids, for instance, taste sour, while bases have a bitter taste. Acids don't have any type of texture that's specific to them, but bases are slippery to the touch. Acids do conduct electricity, while bases also conduct electricity. Acids will react with metals, while bases do not have any reaction with metals. Earlier I talked about the ions that are released. So remember, acids release H plus ions and bases release OH minus hydroxide ions. The pH range of an acid is less than 7. And we'll talk about the pH scale in a minute here. And then bases, the pH range is anything greater than 7. Some common examples of acids would be citrus fruits, vinegar, carbonated drinks, vitamin C. Some examples of bases would be soap, baking soda, household ammonia. pH is a measure of how acidic or basic a solution is, and the pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. So we have our pH scale here, 0, 14, right in the middle is 7. So from 0 to 6.9 would be your acids, and then from 7.1 to 14 would be your bases. 7 in the middle is considered neutral. The stronger acids will be found at the end of your line. And your stronger bases will be found at the end over here. So that means the closer that you are to 7, the weaker you are. So this is going to be weak base, and over here would be a weak acid. There are a number of different tests that you can do to identify whether a substance is an acid or a base, and these are called indicators. There are two different indicators we're going to be using in the lab that are paper-based, and the first one is called litmus paper. So there's two types of litmus paper. There's red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. Anytime you're using litmus paper, if you have a base, the litmus paper is going to turn blue. So blue would indicate a base. And you can remember that with BB. Anytime you have an acid, your litmus paper is going to turn red. Okay, so litmus paper, red is going to be an acid, blue is going to be a base. Then the next type of paper we're going to use is called pH paper. So here's pH paper. And what it does, the paper actually turns a specific color that is going to match to a specific number to give you the pH. So this is more specific than the litmus paper. So this is pH paper. We're also going to use another test called a liquid substance called phenolphthalein. And what happens in phenolphthalein is in a base, it's going to turn pink in a base. If it's an acid, it's not going to do anything. These are some examples of acids and their formulas. If you notice, they all have the hydrogen. And down here are examples of bases. And if you notice, all the bases have the OH hydroxide. The last thing we need to talk about is a neutralization reaction. And what this is a chemical reaction in which an acid and a base react to form an ionic compound, a salt, and water. And the resulting pH is then close to 7. So we have acid plus a base is going to yield salt plus a water. So every neutralization reaction has an acid, a base, and it's going to form some sort of salt and water. So for example, I have an acid, H3PO4. Okay, I know it's an acid because of the H. That's right here. And then I have plus a base, KOH, and I know it's a base because of the hydroxide right there. And that's going to form a salt, which is an ionic compound, which is K3PO4, and then a water. And I know this is ionic because it's a metal and a nonmetal. That's it. If you have any questions, please let me know.